sometimes we end up saying who we're for, and in other conventions we don't. And so it was kind of fun watching. So, but this is what it's about. This is what our constitutional republic is about, and that's what we're here for. And so, thank you for engaging. Thank you all for being respectful in your differences, because that's what makes us strong, in the ability to equally express those. So, good stuff. I'd like to thank our leadership here, Brian and Alice and David McCormick and Chad Gellner. Who are the rest of it? Roberta Kurt, thank you for all your leadership and the credentials and sending emails out. Let's give these guys a hand. So Mike Goggin, who's going to talk here quick, him and I are headed. We were in Goodview speaking at their convention, and then we're here, and then we're going to Winona to speak there. So there's 3 conventions today in the district that I am so humbled to represent. Includes portions of all 3 of those counties, and then a little smidgen of Dodge too. So I guess I got to find out when their convention is. Not this weekend though. It was last week. It's really a really little smidgen. Well, I just want to mention quickly some things that are going on in the legislature, and I would hope that everybody can stay engaged in the discussion we have going this legislative session. As you know, we're at the point in the biennium where we're midway between the 2 years in the biennium. We're just starting the second year, that second session. If you'll remember last session, we set the budget for the biennium. And for many of us, probably for all of us in the room, the spending was way too much. It was a 5 or 6.5% increase in the general fund spending for our budget over the biennium. And so that budget, by the way, even though it was too much, and I didn't like what happened, the message at this point that we have to bring forward to all of Minnesota is this: the government is fully funded. So we set the budget not only for this year we're in, but the next one ahead of us. It's a 2-year biennium, and it goes to June 30th of 2017. That commitment, those appropriations have already been made. They were made last year. That decision's been made. And after that is done, we are still on track or on pace to over-collect $900 million of the people's money extracted from the pockets of hardworking men and women throughout the state of Minnesota who run a family and run a business and do the things that keep our state going. We are projected to collect between now and June 30th of 2017, $900 million too much. And the message to Minnesota is the government is fully funded. It's got the money it needs. And so what we have now as we go into this session, we have those of us, like in the Minnesota House of Representatives, thank God to all the work you and others have done to help make certain that we have a backstop and a firewall against the liberals, because we do have control of the Minnesota House. There's 73 of us and 61 of them in the Minnesota House. The liberals have the Senate, and the ultra-liberal has the governor's office. So that's the situation we have, okay? And so given that scenario, it's great we have a backstop, but I want you to know that when there is money or projected or even just the smell of money at the Capitol that presents itself, the animals start to come out of the woods and start to look at the corn pile and think it's theirs to feed on. And they are coming out of the woods now from all different directions. Every one of them has a good story, and they all sound good, and they're all going to save us, and our kids won't die in the streets if they get that money, and all those things that they bring forward. And they do every time. But it's important for us to get the message out to Minnesota. The government is fully funded. It's time for us to reduce taxes on hardworking Minnesotans and small businesses and farmers throughout the state, so that they can start to recover from this oppressive taxation we have, get up off of their knees, onto their feet, start to walk again, and eventually run. That's what we need to do, and we need your help to do it, to let Minnesotans know. We have a tax bill sitting there in front of the tax conference committee. Many of the provisions in there I wrote. Thanks to you electing me and sending me to St. Paul. Provisions that provide property tax relief for farmers, property tax relief for small businesses. We get rid of that state general tax, that wonderful special state-only collected property tax. Anybody know about that? So if you're a small business operator, John, and you've got business facilities, and you've got your property tax statement, it says city, you pay this much, county, you pay this much, township or, school, you pay this much. There's one in there called the state general tax, okay? And it's kind of camouflage. It's in there, it's all black and white, and you go through there and you look at the bottom and holy moly. That's what you do, there's a little fine print. In there it says state general tax. That, for a business, is about 1/3 of their property tax bill, and not a dime of it goes to the local government. 100% of that portion goes to St. Paul, accumulates there, and is spent very quickly, by the way, on many of the numerous and generous programs that we have in this overtaxed, overfunded state of Minnesota. So that's kind of where we're at. We got some great stuff in the tax bill. We repealed the income tax on Social Security benefits for seniors. We repealed the outrageous income tax on veterans' pension benefits. We repeal it and get rid of it in the bill, and we conform the estate tax, the death tax, to the federal exemption, so farmers would have the exemption of $5.43 million like the feds provide, so that the state doesn't own a portion of your farm when you die. That wonderful tax that taxes people when they die. That's just a handful of what we're doing. We're working to stop the left. They're bringing this euthanasia bill in the Senate. Have you read that? Yeah. So they want to kill people when they don't, somebody has a time in their life they don't think they want to live anymore, and we're going to help them. That's the idea from the Senate. I tell you, the House will stop that dead. We'll stop that bill dead and send it packing. It will be gone. But if we lose the House and have the Democrats take over and they continue to run the Senate, and they will have the governor after this election for 2 more years, if they have all 3 again, that will be fair game for them here. If they have all 3 again, their anti-gun bills that they're bringing, Kim Norton in Rochester, wonderful gal. Well, I mean, she's an okay gal, but the stuff she brings is outrageous. She wants to have gun control measures. Those will be fair game for them if they take over. Her outrageous measures in this particular environment with Republicans solidly control the House doesn't have a snowball's chance. It won't go anywhere. It's going to be done. But what we're doing is things, I brought a bill to outlaw the outrageous, unconstitutional executive order that President Obama brought against guns here in Minnesota. And my bill says, guess what? We're not going to enforce it here. It's against the law. We bring bills like the one I introduced to audit the refugee resettlement program here in Minnesota. Find out how much welfare money that we're giving to people that we import that are poor when they get here and are going to be poor for a long time. Good stuff we're doing, I can tell you, in the Minnesota House. And you've heard some of it. I could talk for hours, but Mike's got to talk, and then we're going to go to Winona, and hopefully we keep her out of the ditch. But thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let Minnesota know the government has all it needs right now, and it's time to give the money back to the people. Thank you.
Our current state senator is Matt Schmidt. DFL was elected 4 years ago, and Mike Goggin has stepped forward to run to defeat him. So here's Mike Goggin.
Thanks, Brian. I do want to say thanks to everybody here for all the hard work you guys are doing. This is fantastic. I appreciate you taking your time out, busy schedules to come here and be here to do this difficult work. It's not easy, but I like to see the passion. As Steve said, it's been nice to watch everybody voicing their opinions, but doing it in a nice manner. So who am I? I'm Mike Goggin. Grew up in Red Wing. Blessed to have a wonderful family. I'm the third child of Joe and Barb Goggin. I have 2 sisters and a brother. I have a wonderful, incredible, beautiful wife of 25 years. We just celebrated that last fall. 2 wonderful sons. One's finishing up his chemistry degree down in Texas. Then he's off to Colorado to go for his doctorate in chemical engineering. My other son is playing junior hockey down in La Crosse. Right now they're in the playoffs. They just finished the first round, so they're moving on to the next round. Myself, by day, I'm a project manager at the nuclear power plant outside of Red Wing. I'm an old Gusty. I saw the Gusty shirt sweatshirt over there. I didn't pay quite as much as you're probably paying if they're going to Gustavus now. So, but I got my business degree there, and I also have an electrical engineering degree from University of Colorado at Denver. So with that being said, why am I running? Why am I getting into this political realm? I'm not a political person by faith, but what happened when they passed that $2 billion tax increase? That included the business sales tax. That included the warehouse tax, which after they got enough outcry from the public and people said, hey, you're trying to screw us here, the Democrats pulled those two sections off. But they were trying to get it through without people noticing so they could get more money. But the business sales tax, first thing I thought of was, what's it gonna do to our farmers? What's it gonna do to those folks out there on the farm? They gotta get feed, they gotta get seed, they gotta get services done on their tractors, on their equipment. So there's more taxes, 6.875, bam, 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 every time you do it. Warehouse tax, growing up in Red Wing, my dad worked for Red Wing Shoe Company for almost 33 years. To see them have to stop putting in a $20 million warehouse that's gonna have good, long-term, good-paying jobs because of that tax, and they still haven't started it yet. I said enough was enough, and I lost it because I said, I can't sit back and do nothing. Mom and Dad raised us that if you see something you don't like, you don't agree with, you wanna get it fixed, you gotta get involved. So that's why I'm doing this, I'm getting involved. I'm a fiscally conservative person, being a project manager at work, I handle scope, schedule, and budget every single day. Every project I've had has come in on schedule, on budget, and within the scope, okay? I got one going on right now, it's gotta be done the end of this month. Got a great crews, they're fantastic. But I'm here because I am passionate about getting rid of the idiotic, no-nonsense, nonsensical stuff they're doing up there at the House, at the Senate. It's just amazing. Building the Senate Legislative Office building, really? $90 million, we needed that because the reason was we're renovating the Capitol. You can rent space for your time being. You don't need to build this office building. So now, we all get the joy of having that line item in the budget every biennium that we pay for the upkeep of that building. And it's not gonna be cheap. Oh, and then they forgot to put Wi-Fi in. So what else did they forget? Oh, signs, yeah, they didn't put signs in. Now, you know, they still wanna do, the Democrats still wanna do that 6.5% also gas tax, right? Go online and search for that, and you'll find a calculator that will, help you with your put in your miles you're driving a year and miles per gallon, and it tells you how much additional you're gonna pay. So I did that the other day, and I'll pay $100 a year extra for each car. I have 3 cars, so that's $300. Okay, may not be much to some of us, but for a lot of us, $300 is a lot of money. That's food on the table, clothing on the kids, you know, roof over the head, utility bills. We gotta stop this nonsense, because they just wanna tax and keep it going. They don't care. They wanna take control of our lives and make us be their servants. The 4 things in this world that my mom and dad preached to us from day one. God and family first, integrity matters, and service before self. And right now, that's why I'm getting involved, because I wanna be the voice for the people of Senate District 21, so that I can go up there and be your public servant, not you be my, working for me. That's not how it works. I work for you. That's how I run my life. That's how I run my family. I do everything for the family, I do everything for the people of Senate 21, because what's good for Senate 21 is good for everyone. And so I wanna make sure that you folks have a voice up there at the Capitol that's actually gonna be there to do things for you. Oh, yeah, and by the way, how many of you guys took advantage of cash for clunkers? Show of hands. Well, not to be outdone by the federal government, the Senate Democrats now this week, and your current state senator voted for it. We got rid of the clunker thing because that wasn't very good, but luxury cars, hybrid luxury cars, they want to pay $2,500 to people that buy luxury hybrid vehicles. We all get to be fortunate enough to assist those poor individuals in making them feel better. I don't know if we have to fill out a hurt feelings report or what, but maybe we do.
I think you can fill forms in the Democrat office.
Oh, okay. I'll go see Goggin. So anyways, that's why I'm running, because I'm very passionate about this. I am pro-life. I'm an analytical person, but I cannot for the life of me figure out how anybody can sit there and say life does not start until 20 weeks in, or when the baby's born. That makes no sense. When I could go out there in the woods, and if I see a flower, I pick it out, I get thrown in jail. Or I kill a protected animal. What society are we coming to when we don't even care about ourselves? So I am very pro-choice, not pro-choice, but very pro-life. I mean, it is just, pro-choice makes no sense to me at all. And I can't fathom it. So thank you all very much. Appreciate your hard work. Thank you.
Okay, it has been brought to my attention that it's not clear as to where when I was listing what parts of Wabasha County were in District